baby Gretchen come from?
My head?
Baby Gretchen.
Yes.
Hey guys, we're back.
Hello.
Take 2, and
I spilled some coffee.
And we are reviewing Tsarina by Nelle Patrick.
Yes, we are.
And
this was my pick, by the way. After a slew of contemporary books, this is my pick.
Yes. So, Gretchen, talk about why you love this book.
Why I love this? I mean, if you throw me Russian things, I will like it.
It's Russian court drama.
It's Russian court drama.
So Gretchen is going to be all
I think
over.
I can't speak today. I also liked it because we had just read We Were Liars.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tsarina and We Were Liars sort of deal with the same, like, wrestling with
out of touch and super rich.
Out of touch and super rich, and are both confronted with the question of, well, what do we do with it? And
I think Tsarina doesn't answer. I
don't think Tsarina answers it either. I think Tsarina attempts to have more actually intellectual conversations about the topic.
I don't know. I think I disagree, but whatever. We Were Liars answers it by doing the massive guilt stuff.
Yeah.
How does Tsarina answer it?
It doesn't, because it's not really answered in history either.
It's true. Yeah, so this is winter that the Reds come. The Romanovs are in power. We have a courtier named Natalia, and she is super rich, and somehow she's like a thing with Alexei, the heir to the throne, and she has a best friend, Emelina, who's also a courtier, and then everything goes to shit, and they have to get a commoner named Leo to help them out.
To get the Fabergé egg.
The Fabergé egg, which is apparently this talisman that's going to protect everybody. Yes. And
it's going to protect whoever holds power over it to help them save Russia. Which doesn't actually work. Yeah. Anyway, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so, what's his face? Rasputin. Rasputin made the egg magical.
He sucked all the magic in Russia, put it into the egg. So now all of the mystics' powers are draining because he's a crazy person. It protects the family who's in control of it, and it basically magically binds them to Russia.
It's kind of a True Love's sacrificial thing too, supposedly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so horrifically implausible, but super exciting. And amazing descriptions.
I mean, again, Gretchen just got lost in the wintry streets of St. Petersburg and Moscow for a while. So, I mean, I was happy.
Yeah, the descriptions of the social scene and Moscow are just beautiful.
It makes me want to go to Moscow and St. Petersburg. Makes me want to go see it all.
Yeah. So, tropes.
I mean, we have to mention Emelina, Amelia, the Russians and their nicknames and their pet names. She really fulfills that really horrible role of
the boy-obsessed best friend.
Yeah, and that's all she does. And that's all she knows.
She's also she's kind of anachronistic.
Yeah. I mean, especially I feel like, having read so much about Russian history and Russian women, you don't fuck with them Russian women. I mean, especially in the court, because they were so high up at certain points.
And she was just such a helpless little
daisy.
daisy.
And it felt really inaccurate, even of the time. I mean, I feel like Russian women typically had more power than that.
Yeah. Well, so my problem with it were all the super implausible decisions. Now,
I mean,
okay, but if you're comparing it with Mara, at least it's semi-realistic in terms of she has a brain and uses it and gets herself in and out of difficult.
Yeah, it was. I think it gets tied up with another problem that we had with Natalia specifically, is that Natalia is not trope alert. Natalia is not actually of this time. She is a modern day girl supplanted into a historical time period.
And she's just as helpless as she would be if a modern girl actually got dropped into that time period and makes as stupid decisions
as possible. And so I wouldn't actually believe. I mean, I mean, I don't know specifically about marriages at that time, but the idea that you might have been able to marry for love seems really implausible to me, especially at that level, like, at that echelon level.
No.
Like,
hey, Anna Karenina.
Yeah. Like, that shit would have not gone down well.
Yeah.
I don't care who your parents were or how much they believed in love. No.
Doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Well, but, and then there's, like, the whole part where, like, her dad never checks in. He doesn't
exist. Yeah, her dad never checks in. The fact that she doesn't have any sort of, like, especially because she's so young.
She's never worried about him?
She's never worried about him, but she has no chaperone.
She oh no, they're storming this other part of the city where some rich people live, so I'm going to run out of the house and, like, run away. And everybody's like, oh, okay, do you want
But not actually put on things like boots.
Yeah.
Or grab a coat.
Right, yeah, how about, like, Emelina is, like, running around the town for, like, 2 days without shoes. In the winter? In Russia.
In the Russian winter.
And they're like, oh, well, we'll just thaw her feet later and she'll be fine. No lasting damage. Right. Great. Super smart.
I mean, I don't think you can thaw frostbite.
So they should have had an awesome amputation scene there. So she'd be like, my poor husband is never going to love me.
I'm now confined to a wheelchair.
I'm going to become a nun now.
I'm going to become a nun in the Eastern Orthodox Church.
Okay, anyway.
Wow. We went to some dark places right there.
Happens all the time.
I mean, really, it does.
Okay, so, it just lots of implausibility.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to read.
And here's the thing, it wasn't related to the magical realism. The implausibility was related to, like, stupid decisions.
Yeah, I actually thought the magical realism was actually some of the better parts of the book. I thought the interruptions that we got that fed us into that plot, I thought those were very well handled. I thought the author did an interesting job of pulling from the mysticism and sort of the magical culture that already exists in Russia. Yeah. So rather than, like, implanting something else from, like, outside, I feel like she actually knew something about, I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know a lot about Russian mysticism. Surprisingly.
She should fix that.
I should fix that.
Send her books.
Send me books. But, like, I felt that was something very authentic to the culture, or it felt more authentic than some of the other things.
Yeah, the magical realism was better written than, like, the dialogue or character building stuff.
Yeah.
The setting was incredible. And I liked the ending. I really liked the ending, but it didn't actually match the historicity.
I mean, the ending was nice, and I was like, oh, pretty ending. But at the same time, I was like, but you actually, spoiler alert, you can't actually save Russia, because we all know what's coming.
Well, I like... Yeah. Death. Destruction.
The Soviet Union. Yeah. World War II.
But seriously, though, like, it was one of the better written parts of the story. Like, that's why, okay, so suspension of disbelief, whatever, but it wasn't...
It was stupid decision after stupid decision.
Yeah, the historicity was easier to get over than the stupid decisions. And so, like, having the magical realism, like, boom, ending, like, that was more enjoyable and better written and, like, more believable than all the, like, let's get this girl into this really awkward situation moments.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that she had no sort of chaperone, even if her father was away, like...
Parents as ATMs.
Parents as ATMs. They don't really... You know, even if her father had been in the army, there's no way if he lived in a higher, like, up at court that he would let his, like, of-age daughter just stay at home alone, run around the city and attend court functions without, like... Somebody there to pull the reins.
There would have been, like, some, like, spinster aunt.
Yeah, spinster aunt or somebody,
or
like...
a nurse who'd been with the family for years. Like,
somebody would have been there.
What'd you think of this whole sunflower thing?
The end?
Through the whole, like,
I thought it was, like, an interesting callback. I don't know, the middle, like, really dragged for me, I feel like. It was really once we got out of Moscow.
Yeah, once we got out of Moscow, it really started working.
It really, once we, like, but, like, the whole middle from, like, about the time we meet Leo until we get out of Moscow and until we get into the Mystics.
I wish we had started with the Mystics instead of starting with the, like, implausible rush decisions.
Yeah, like, the whole point of getting from A to B, to me, could have used some smoothing out, and could have used, I feel like if you would have made one or two really smart decisions within there, it could have cleaned up a lot of things, moved the plot faster, and helped alleviate some of the, like, stupidity of our main character, and I love her
stupidity. Wanted to like her more than you actually could. Yeah, like, you're like, wait, you did that way back then. how is this going to work out for you?
Yeah, like, I did not set out to not like her, but I wanted to like her, but I feel like in comparison to other characters, I mean, I feel about the same as I do toward most female heroines, which is very strange, that I feel like quite often the heroines of novels are the most underdeveloped characters in the book.
Yeah.
And I would say that holds true for Natalia.
Yeah. And I think, like, harkening back to We Were Liars, like, again, dealing with these issues of wealth and crisis and bad decisions.
And in this, you actually have, like, people rising up, and you have them sort of thrust into that.
In this, like, the bad decisions weren't the result of mental health problems, and so you could, like your character better than otherwise. Here, it was just, like, bad decisions just for the sake of bad decisions, and so I liked her less.
It was bad decisions for the sake of almost plot. Which, like I said, if you could have made one or two smarter choices here or there and still show her naivety.
Oh, also, seriously, like, the whole Leo and the Reds relationship.
That was really weird.
Like, they would actually never let him do that.
Never, ever in a million years.
Yeah. Again, just implausible.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, overall, I still, like, it's my thing, you know?
Yeah, it was really pretty.
I'm now reading another one, except this one is set in the Russian-Soviet Union. With psionics. Lindsay Smith, you're a god. Yes. You right up there now. I mean, Elizabeth Wayne blurbed your book. I will read it. Elizabeth Wayne says your book is good. I will pick it up.
Very good.
I will be there with bells on. Jingle, 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 jingle.
Yeah. So, I guess I would write,
I mean, like, here's the thing. I got it from my library.
Yeah.
It was a good book.
If you want a beach read and you don't care about...
Yeah, like, I read it a lot on the beach.
Yeah, if you don't care about plot points, this is a really pretty book to read, but you're going to have to, like, willingly, like, turn your brain off.
Yeah. Or, I mean, if you know nothing about the Russian Revolution...
There you go! Problem solved!
Problem solved.
Just don't use it as, you know, the basis for anything.
Don't at all.
And she actually says that in her author.
She does. Like, I like the fact that she willingly will say that she knows that this is historically inaccurate. Mm-hmm. I appreciate and respect her more for saying that and saying I'm changing this for the sake of story than if she completely was just like, I'm going to move these things around and not tell you.
Oh, I have a question for you. How did you feel about Rasputin's daughter?
I liked it, but at the same time, it was kind of awkward, weird.
I feel like if they had started with her at the beginning instead of a prologue kind of moment.
I feel like instead of starting with the other woman, if we would have started with her, and if she had been sort of more of our touchstone. Also, she was, like, evil, and then she wasn't. I never knew how...
She had, like, one trick emotionally, which was, like, don't look at me.
Yeah, so I never really got...
But she had a lot more interesting things going on.
She did.
That she could have played
with. And Rasputin is such an interesting subject, because, I mean, the, like,
seriously,
stuff...
daddy issues?
I mean, daddy issues, but, like, just the stuff surrounding his death. I mean, like, she wasn't lying when they say, like, they poisoned him, they shot him, they, like, stabbed him, they eventually rolled him into a river, and when they autopsied his body, there was water in his lungs. So, like, the man survived. I mean, crazy mofo, but, you know...
Whatever he was on, I want some.
I mean... Mostly, but not really, because he was also kind of crazy.
Well, that too. But then again...
Aren't we all?
Yeah. So... I don't know. Like, I thought she had a lot more development than even Natalia did.
I mean, I would give this book, I mean, I know right now it's a really good stars on my book reads, but, like, I would say this is a solid 3.5 stars for me. Like, I enjoyed it.
I'd say I'd give it, like, a 2.5. I think there were, like, pieces where the descriptions were just really, really well done, and she was just...
You're just, like, writing... Fuck, why can't I write like that?
Yeah, no, her writing style is delightful, but the plot really needed a lot more, like, workshopping.
I mean, I'm a plot and structure person, so... I mean, I can forgive a lot of it, but, like... I'd rather fix it. Yeah. I'd rather be the editor being like, let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this like adults. Sorry.
Let's actually approach it like we might have approached it as a girl in the 17th, 18th century.
Yeah. Yeah. So, kind of a fun
read.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Very good.
Bye.
Bye.